All right, folks, appreciate y'all for coming out. This is the first session on real estate, finding, negotiating deals. I don't think Mr. Haskins needs any introduction, but renowned real estate educator, has been in the game for a long time, has done a lot of creative stuff. People really gravitate to his education. He has a great community, and I think that is a testament to the value that he gives on the education side. So with no further introduction, I'll let you take it over.
Cool, yep, appreciate it, brother. Good to see you, man. Y'all clap it up for Akeem, man. Isn't this cool? Thank you for doing this, bro. Stepping out, spending money, taking risk, not knowing what the future holds. I love it. The spirit of entrepreneurship brings us here today. It's such an honor to see black people here in the room. Thank y'all for coming. So we got your handout here. I'm going to be very brief, as go as fast as we can. And I love Q&A. Because that's where we get where the rubber hits the road. You can find out what we're doing for deals and negotiation and all that craziness. So thank you so much for coming. But I wanted everybody to just kind of take a look at the market. We got realtors in the room already? I know you are, realtors. Cool. And just so I understand, just by a show of hands, how many people here have bought over 10 houses in the room right now? Have you bought and sold over 10 houses? So I know where we are right here. How about 20? Okay, so we're gonna have 20 more. Okay, cool. So 20. You're a realtor too?
No,
you're
wholesale.
Wholesale, okay, so you're buying and selling paper.
Yeah.
Good for you, okay, good. How about 50? Anybody done over 50 in here? Okay, cool. You done over 50? Yeah, wholesale. You guys, all right. You guys are, yeah. What market are you in, by the way?
Richmond.
Richmond. All right, so I just wanted everybody to kind of understand where we are now. I've been doing the game since 2004. I've been fortunate enough to have been able to survive, not only survive, but thrive through 2007, 8, and 9. Yes, I did lose a bunch of houses to foreclosure because I bought them wrong, but I was able to be introduced to something called private money. Everybody repeat after me, private money.
Private money.
Oh man, sound like somebody's already, are you guys raising private money right now? Gee, good. Good. Private money, we don't deal with the bank. I'm not worried about credit. I don't care about turning in tax returns. Come on in, my friend.
Oh, no, just take pictures.
Taking pictures. Tax returns, none of that stuff, right? We don't deal with any of that. We do not have to go beg and suck up to banks to buy and sell real estate. That's not the world that I live in. And I recommend everybody to come over to that world if you're not there right now. So I am salivating as I look at the numbers here that we're gonna go over. It is amazing how the market has changed. So let's look at this example letter A here on the top left. I wanted you guys to see what I'm seeing. You see that huge graph went up and up and then it's coming down. It's kind of hard to see the numbers at the bottom what represents the graph, but those are years. And the final one at the last graph on letter A is going to be active listings. So we're hovering right around 5,000 active listings right now. And if you look before that, it was down to 2,000 something. So we have realtors. Hi, come on in. You guys are realtors. You guys kind of know exactly where I'm going with this. Since COVID, available houses to buy have been very low, right? And now that we're coming out of COVID, my team and the perspective that I'm seeing is this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for us to get in before things get back to normal, right? So 5,000 listings in our market here, we're hovering, is usually around 12,000 listings available. We're still, everybody's watching the news. Oh, the market's crashing. Can't buy houses anymore. There's still no houses to buy. There's nothing out here. Let's look at example B. If you were to see, you see example B here. I don't know, my examples are kind of small. I had to get it all on one page. But I wanted everybody to see June 2022, that 1.5, that 1.5 is months. If there was not to be any more listings put on the MLS now, all of them would be absorbed in the market in a month and a half. A month and a half. Generally speaking, a healthy market is 6 months. A healthy market. Me and my comrades get nervous now. I don't know anybody in the room. We used to be happy to get an offer in 3 months. Now we're nervous if we don't have 2 offers in 2 weeks. They're like, what's going on, man? We're getting offers. I'm like, a healthy market is 6 months, So we have to just remind ourselves where we are in the position of this market, right? It's unbelievable. And I'm recommending, we've got any people watching the news in here? Nobody's watching the news, right? We don't watch the news. Don't let that mess get in your mind. I have to beg my wife, cut that mess off. There's nothing on there that's gonna benefit us in our business future. So we are, from my perspective, we're at the bottom. It can't go to zero. Can't go to zero. People are always going to be buying and selling properties. So we're at a month and a half absorption rate is what they call it, right? So nothing else comes on. So I'm just kind of giving you guys a kind of 40,000 foot view of what I'm seeing in the market. All right, our next example is example C. This is where I really get excited. This is a United States foreclosure starts. That's where the bank goes to initiate a foreclosure. If you look back, now the graph here is back 20 years. I know you can't see the numbers here, but this is like 2000 back here. And the front here is 2022, all right? You see where that big drop off, what was that big drop off right there? Anybody want to guess what that drop off was?
Moratorium.
Moratorium, no foreclosures, right? What were we doing? I'm like, how are we going to survive? I'm going to the auction every week trying to figure out what we're going to do, right? Going to the auction, no foreclosures, period, for the last 2 years. 2 years. Now we can look, it's starting to ramp up. So I want everybody in the room today just to kind of recognize the position that you're in. What I've learned with real estate is all about the position, being the owner of not only real estate, but ideas, perspectives, where's the market going, data. I look at the data, foreclosures going away, now they're coming back. So we are strong right now focusing on delinquent, what is it, pre-foreclosures, but pre-notice of default. So people, man, foreclosures are extremely active now, all right? And that's the proof right there. Okay, let's get into a little bit of, does everybody in the room, how many people in the room by show of hands own a piece of real estate? Okay, cool. So we do still have some renters here. That's just a few. Letter D, then I'm gonna get into my spiel. Letter D, y'all. U.S. renters tend to earn less and have less wealth than homeowners. So if you look at letter D here for my example, 0 to 25-year-olds, 39% own, let's say 40% own, 60% rent. 25 to 50-year-olds, 60% own, 40% rent. But here's the magic, and I know I'm not 50 yet, but you have to be a time traveler in real estate. You must be a time traveler if you want to have a successful real estate career. So I started in 2004. I had a rich white guy set me aside. He said, Chris, I'm going to show you something that should be illegal. Set up your self-directed Roth IRA. How many of us in the room have a self-directed Roth IRA? Boom, 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 good, good. So the self-directed Roth IRA is where the system gives you an opportunity to have a tax loophole to not pay any taxes. We're not going to get into that right now because we're talking about location and negotiation. But your self-directed Roth IRA, and I don't care if you're just wholesaling, you can wholesale inside of that too. Tax-free, okay? And we can't cover all that now, but the reason I'm saying that is because once you hit 50, the building wealth is like an amortization table. At the beginning of it, hard, all interest, y'all working. You don't see any benefit. But once you hit that 15, 16 year mark, then things start to open up for us. So 40-year-olds to 75-year-olds, generally speaking, own 72% of them own real estate and 27% renting. But let's go down to the bottom for the net worth. This is the big boy, y'all. I know a lot of us are thinking about cash flow as I do, and I do focus on cash flow, but your net worth, can somebody give me one sentence? What is the definition of net worth? Anybody know?
Your assets minus your liabilities.
Assets, everybody got that? I didn't know. I had no idea when I first got a loan. What the hell is my net worth? I don't know. It was negative. When I first started, it was negative 10 grand. I owed more than I was even worth. Okay, so our assets minus liabilities, assets, what you own, minus what you owe is your net worth. All right, now some of us own nothing, owe more than what we owe. We owe more than what we own. That gives you a negative net worth. All right, so if you're in that boat, we're going to try to help today get out of that boat. All right, but look at what I want you to see here is when you turn 50. Owners net worth 90%. 90% of the wealth is owned by the owners as opposed to people that rent. So I'm strongly encouraging everybody in here. I know we're flipping and buying and selling, but my mentor tells me the longer you own the property, the more money you will make. Repeat after me. The longer you own the property, the more money you will make. I don't know about you guys, but I was flipping. I still do contracts, wholesale, all that stuff. Gave away so many diamonds. And then I look back 20 years later, I shed a tear for all the assets that I gave to other people, right? So those could have been assets and horses in my stable. So try to hold on to the asset, okay? Now, the final stat I wanted us to see was Americans who are black, right? Because I want us to understand renters versus owners. My goodness. So if you look down here, the majority of the wealth, 20% is where we are. 20%. We can do better, right? We can do better with wealth creation. That's why you're here. So according to the IRS, in 2018, only 7%, I'm rounding up, of individual tax filers reported owning rental properties. We have to change that number, y'all. But as I was talking to my therapist and I was telling my videographer today, how many of us have a therapist in here? Good, you guys are okay. You're ahead of the game, man. That's so cool. You got to have a therapist, especially if you're black. I have to be honest, I'm a descendant of slaves. I've traced my roots back to the guy that owned my family several generations ago. My family did not own real estate. Matter of fact, they didn't have an opportunity to even own anything. So I get to change that for my family. So when I talking to my therapist, I'm asking her, why aren't people buying real estate? What is it? What could it be? And she actually broke it down for me. Real estate investor mindset, sacrifice. Do we not want to sacrifice the time and effort? Maybe our lifestyles. Let me tell you that I lived in an 1,100 square foot house for 7 years while I was doing real estate. 1,100 square feet, y'all. I'm not proud of it. People will come visit me. Kris, you're doing all these real estate deals. You're doing that. You get me raising millions of dollars. You living here? That's what I could afford for my family, right? I almost got a divorce. My wife hated our house. She said I didn't go to Norfolk State and get a master's degree to live in an 1,100 square foot house. My God, thank you for letting us make it through that rough time period. Sacrifice. A lot of us don't want to sacrifice. I'm not saying it's you, but a lot of my friends didn't want to sacrifice. Why aren't we buying real estate? Self-control. Are we exercising self-control? This comes directly from my therapist. She goes, Kris, I meet with people overweight all the time. I give them all these nuggets and they don't do it. I give them these nuggets, but this is exactly what she's telling me. Self-control. Can we exhibit self-control when we want to buy that Louis bag? When we want to buy the new car? I don't know about you guys, but I did a joint venture with a young lady in this room. Self-control, I put the money out, let's do the deal, let's see what's going to happen. Let's see what's going to happen. I have no idea. I don't know if we're going to be able to make money or not, but I'm willing to take risks. We're willing to take risks, right? I meet so many people, well, how do we know it's going to work? Does that real estate thing really work? Does it work? I'm like, what do you mean? You don't see? I think it's a bigger picture. Discipline, do we want to discipline ourselves? Do we want to take that money that we earned and spend it on Google pay-per-click, which I'm going to get into in a minute? Do we want to take that money? It's hard for me too. Sacrifice 10, 20 grand to pay extra principal on our mortgages. That's one of my biggest secrets, y'all. Paying extra principal on my mortgages. I've paid off all my real estate, right? This $1 million real estate portfolio. I'm not here to impress anybody. What I want you to know is I did it $1 at a time. $1 at a time. 1,000 here, 1,000 there. Next thing you know, you got a net worth. It's truly amazing. Anybody putting extra principal on their mortgages in here? Boom, boom, boom. You guys got it down, man. You got it down. It is amazing what a few dollars will do for you over 15 years. It's just amazing, right? We all look at the now. Luckily, I had some old mentors to share with me this fact. Pay just a little bit every month. Your debt will disappear. I don't know how it works. I think when you pay extra, you're training your mind to eliminate the debt, but then you make your regular payment. You don't even know that that's principal too. So you're making extra principal and your regular payment has principal in it a year, and you're saving so much money on interest. We saved tens of thousands of dollars on interest that we didn't have to pay just by making, I'm just saying, one payment a year. And if you have a $2,000 payment, just divide that by 12 and make $150 a month. That's all. Just give it a try. Consistency. My mentor tells me either you're consistent or you're non-existent. Are you consistently following up with leads? Are you consistently making phone calls, making offers? I love it when I talk to people. Well, I tried that. It was hit or miss. You know, hit or miss. That's how real estate is. Looking, boom, deal. You look at 50 leads, boom, deal. Limiting beliefs. Is it a good time to buy? How many people have heard that over the last few weeks? Is it a good time to buy? What do you mean? We're buying and selling real estate every day. I mean, every day is a good day to buy real estate. All depends on your mindset. My God, you're a wholesaler, right? It doesn't matter, I'm gonna ask you, it doesn't matter if the market is going up, down, left, right, forward, backwards, or even sideways. You can still make money in real estate. People are always buying and selling houses. People are always getting sick, divorce, death, drug abuse, loss of job, job transfer. They happen every day. We buy properties based on social issues, not the market. These are social issues, and they happen everywhere in the country, Cali to Texas to Florida to New York. Limiting beliefs. My credit isn't good enough. Anybody not bought a house because they think they need to use their credit? Everybody here doesn't need to use, okay, I won't even go there then. We know we don't need credit to buy real estate, correct?
Right.
All right, y'all gotta wake up. Yes, Chris?
Yes.
All right, we don't need credit to buy real estate. When I get the money, I wish I had 50 cents every time someone would say, Chris, I'm gonna get into real estate when I get the money. Oh man, I'm gonna get into the game as soon as I get my money right. By the time you ain't get your money right, we done 10 deals. I'm like, what is the definition of getting your money right? I hear it every day. I'm telling y'all, I'm letting you guys know the stuff that I hear. I'm sure you hear the same thing, or you might have told it to yourself. I gotta get my money right. It is far easier to find or borrow money than it is to go earn it over time. You can borrow 100, 200,000 to do a deal. It's that simple, right? And I know you do have to have some skill. You have to have skill to manage debt, but I don't want the belief that, I don't want you to think, it has to be my money to do real estate. I don't want that to be a limiting belief for anybody in this room. My tax returns aren't strong enough. I'm waiting on the market to change. I'm building up my savings, et cetera, et cetera. Are you saying any of those? And I put a line at the bottom down here, guys. We can go over in a few moments. What's your biggest obstacle right now in real estate? If you don't mind sharing that with everybody, we're gonna go around during Q&A. What is your biggest obstacle in real estate? What is it? Leads, financing, contract management? We'll go, I wanna hear some of that stuff as we close. We have to remember, money and real estate do not go together. Everybody got that fact? Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Money and real estate doesn't go together. I heard two people, so oh boy. Financing, mortgages, and real estate don't go together. Everybody cool with that? Everybody, if you don't have that, I won't even cover it.
I would like for you to explain, elaborate.
Money, financing, and loans and mortgages, they don't go with real estate. Everybody thinks, right? We all thought, well, I don't want to speak for everybody. For me, I thought mortgages and real estate went together. I thought that was the thing. You know, you go get a loan, you go to the appraisal, and boom, you got the mortgage on the property. It's stuck on the property, and that's it. I can't sell the house until we pay the loan off. Is that what? That's not what you thought? You're not gonna raise your hand either, no matter what I say, right?
I'm listening.
Gotcha. So I was under the presumption that mortgages and houses went together. I had no idea that a mortgage and a house actually don't go together. They're not connected. The lender can actually sell the loan and the owner stay in place. Wells Fargo can sell a loan to Regions Bank, can sell a loan to Bank of America, can sell a loan to you name it. I had no idea that I could still own the property and they sell the financing to anybody at any time they wanted to. I'm like, man, wouldn't it be cool if we could possibly sell the house and keep the loan in place too? That'd be a cool idea. Nicole, are you taking all this stuff in pretty good? All right, cool. I got my eye on you. I'm seeing you over here. Real estate and financing don't go together. For some reason, our American economy and our society has made us believe that you have to pay off the mortgage in order to sell the property, right? I'm here to tell you today that that is not true. All right, so I used to get a lot of slack and a lot of people used to look crazy at me. I used to preach this stuff back when I was a vice president for our local RIA. I won't say any names. But now it's being more accepted, right? I've been doing this since 2005. And when I tell a certain audience, it's almost looked down upon. But I want you to know that this is how I built my real estate empire. My goal for you is not to work your entire life and have nothing to show for it. You can make plenty of money, I promise you. You can earn all you want. My mentor tells me offense is earning is offense, managing is defense. You got to get that defense down. If all you got is offense, you're gonna lose the game. I was in a losing man's position when I turned 28. I was in the music business for several years, made hundreds of thousands of dollars, plaques rolling with Teddy Riley, doing all that stuff, made money, didn't have money on my mind, so I lost it all. All this capital, how could I go from having all this cash, drinking, drug, and sexing, I'm admitting that, destructive lifestyle, to having $80 in my pocket living on my friend's couch? How can that happen? How could that be possible? Well, didn't own anything what we call stored value. Everybody repeat after me, stored value.
Stored value.
Do you know what stored value is? Just owning real estate. Anything that you can take cash that you own and put it into this asset and lock it up. We have to store value. If all you got is income in a bank account, you in trouble. I've been there. You can have one, I don't care if you got $1, $2, $3, $500,000 in your bank account, it can all go away over time. You have to have something that stores value, goes up over time, and with us, real estate, it throws off what? Cash flow. Cash flow. So we living in life. Our stored value gets to store the money. It's solid, it ain't going nowhere. You get to take the tax deductions and you get to get paid for just owning it. Is that not good or what? Is that not good stuff? Man, real estate, sometimes it gives me chills. Depreciate tax benefits. Stored value, that's what us as a culture don't have. Now, you might have $1 million, $2 million here, 10 million, whatever that is. I'm talking about on the grand scale on the masses. Every state and city that I travel, my people are at the bottom. We're at the bottom. I don't care if it's Cali, Florida, Texas, New York, we're at the bottom. Store value, no net worth. No net worth. What's your net worth? Well, but I'm gonna tell you my typical intake for inner circle. New house, no equity. New car, owe more on the car than the house is worth. Than the car is worth. What is it called, a gap loan or something? Gap insurance, you gotta get that? Or you got a loan that's car worth less than the damn. I'm like, what does that mean? I don't even understand. I don't even understand that concept. New house, no equity. Car, negative equity. Nothing in the bank, new clothes, looking real sexy. New kid, making credit card debt up through the yin yang. I'm looking because when you come to my inner circle, there's a questionnaire. I want to know your finances. Because sometimes I don't even want your money. You need to go pay some debt down. Looking at all your stuff, new house, new cars, they owe more than what they're worth. New kid, family, credit card debt up the yazoo. I'm looking at couples. It's a couple that I looked at. Like, what are we doing here? But they look so clean, man. I mean, they got out of the car. You would think they're worth $1 million. You think they're worth, I'm like, man, you guys are looking good. I'm rolling up, bummy t-shirt, getting out of a Hyundai. Looking at your net worth. We have to look at our net worth, y'all. Negative net worth is what's going to take us out. It'll take us out. All right, so we got houses and financing. They don't go together. You can sell your property, keep the financing in place. So everybody just repeat after me, subject to.
Subject to.
When you buy the house, subject to. How many of us in the room understand subject to? I know Rodrigo does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you got it. All right, you already doing subject to.
No, I'm not doing it, I understand.
Understand it. All right, my bad. Don't get me, okay. All right, so subject to, you have to understand that concept. If anybody in here is kind of like, where the hell do I even start? At the bottom of your page there, REI Foundations is my beginner course. It goes over 15 different strategies that we use right now today to do real estate, right? Go over all of them. And locating deals, social media. Oh my goodness. Raise your hand if you're doing social media on a consistent basis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The same hands going up, man. Y'all money makers. Y'all money makers. I know, G, you are. I have to ask you, why aren't you doing social media? Those that didn't raise their hands, why aren't you doing? Rodrigo?
I'm just not a fan. I'm a really private person, so I like networking, connections, coming in rooms like this, meeting people on a personal basis, and then my name kind of moves that way.
You're good at
I
that.
work with people that I actually want to work with, and not allow myself to be open to the masses. Because a lot of times you get filtered with a lot of people that don't want
That's
to
true.
do nothing but waste your time.
That is true.
And it's hard to use social media when you're doing the work actually.
Right.
When you're doing it.
When we're in the work and doing the work, unless you got somebody else running your social media platform, you ain't got time to be on social media all day.
Time. Personal. I hear that one. I'm the same way. Matter of fact, I do not like social media. I don't want to do it. I don't know if I told you that. I don't even want to do it. I don't. I don't want to do social media. Matter of fact, I hate it. You would go to my page and you're like, damn, dude, God, I do not like social media. I don't want to do it. I want to go home and be in peace. I don't want to be on the phone. I want to hang out with my 2-year-old and my family. Market doesn't care. Market doesn't care what Kris Haskins likes to do, right? Time, though, I hear that one too. Once again, I'm not going to say that as an excuse. I'm going to say that as a reason that we might not have the time to do that. Yes, it is challenging to deploy social media. I will say that, especially if you're doing the work. It is infinitely harder to do this business. Doing the business is hard as it's amazing that you're even in business. But to push it further and then record it, not only record it, but make it understandable for the end user to digest it and then go deploy it, infinitely harder. You're talking about a whole nother skill set, right? I mean, it is, whew. Recording it and making it all sexy and Instagrammable is way harder than doing it. I can just do it. Matter of fact, I did it before I even started. I wasn't social media guy until I started doing it. To 2004 to 17, all I did was do. And I'm going to tell you that the people that do are the best candidates. Best candidates. Because you're not a poser. When I used to ride skateboards, people used to buy these expensive shoes, Jimmy Hawk shoes, couldn't skate. We used to call them posers back in the day. Anybody used to skate? Skateboard, you got these shoes. I'm like, well, you got $300 shoes, but you can't do no tricks, right? So the doers are the ones, we call them practitioners. You are the best ones to do this. It's going to cost you some money. But I am scared. We have a service that we use to wash our clothes at the house. I used to take it to Soap and Suds. I used to drop it off, pick it up, $50. Let me tell you, when I'm like turning into this internet research guy now. I love real estate. It's going to do what it's going to do. Let me tell you, all of us in here are at the whim of the internet. I used to take my clothes to get washed at Soap and Suds. Right, drop it off, pay. Uber destroyed taxis, right? Airbnb is destroying hotels. I was in a city hall meeting a few weeks ago trying to fight that, right? We're trying to get Airbnbs to stay. Let me tell you, industry, I no longer take my clothes to get washed anymore, y'all. I'm just telling you this because we're all entrepreneurs. You got to keep your mind open. I do not wash clothes, right? Not because I'm uppity or whatever. It just requires too much of my time. So my mentor trains me to cut out. When you get to a certain level in your entrepreneurial journey, you get to buy your time back. And cutting grass and washing clothes is just one of those two things that I ain't gonna do, right? $50 here, whatever. Drop off the clothes, come back and get them. Now there's an app. I hit a button, someone shows up at my house, they take my clothes and they wash them and they bring them back to my house. $30. $30. I'm saying this to say the internet is going to swallow up all of our businesses if we're just not cognizant of where it's going. Now, I don't know about robots building houses. I mean, I don't know. You got your eye on that? I don't know about that. But I'm just saying the way things are going, we have to be aware of what's going on. Now I hit a button, lady shows up at my door, closed, done with it. So I'm saying technology for everybody that's in here. Social media is the wave.
You got box houses now, though.
What's a box house?
And then all you got to do is unfold this thing and have certain people put it together right quick.
Internet. Well, maybe I don't know.
What's the name of the app you use?
My wife, I'm sorry, I don't, for the clothes?
Yeah.
My wife does it. I don't, I can get it though, yeah. I did the dropping off, and then she did the thing, so I'll get it though, yo. My bad. But I brought that up to,
Came with all the info.
I'll get it for you, yo. $30, they good my clothes? Why would any entrepreneur wash clothes? I'm like, my mentor told me to stop washing clothes. I'm like, you're crazy. I wash my own. I ain't doing that. Anybody here feel like that? I ain't doing it. Why am I gonna do that? Then I found out I can make $1,000 while they're washing my clothes. I'm like, holy shit, I can actually buy my time back and do other things. I haven't washed clothes, dude. It's been so many years. Years have not cut grass. It's not because I'm here, there. I used to own a ugly house, Home Besters franchise. You know the guys?
Yeah.
Well, no disrespect to anybody that got one. I spent tens of thousands of dollars. But one of the things they taught me was buying your time back. David Ricks, the CEO, came in the room. He said, "Kris, I don't want you to ever wash clothes again, the old white dude. I don't want you to ever cut grass." I'm like, yeah, I cut my own grass at the house. He goes, let me tell you, it takes you got to start the lawnmower, you got to cut the grass, you got to sweep up, and then you got to change clothes and take a shower. 3-4 hours. He goes, let me show you what we can do in 3 hours. Started to break it down. I'm like, ooh, boy. I can make hell of money in those 3 or 4 hours that I could pay somebody $25 to cut the grass. I'm going somewhere else down the street. Matter of fact, I'm looking at a house, closing the deal while the grass being cut. Right? How many people stopping cutting grass? You stopped? You were still cutting your grass? No disrespect. Some people for, what is Rick Ross?
Oh, yeah, Rick Ross.
He cuts his grass for therapeutic. Now I can't. If you're cutting your grass to kind of hang out and, you know, he smokes the, if you're doing that, I can't compete with that. But if you cutting the grass that's hot, you gotta take a shower, I'm like, dude, you know what I could do with that time? So just a few things for you guys. All right, locating deals. Social media, I'm begging you, I'm pleading with you, especially black people. I do belong, I have to toot my own horn, I belong to the 1% club on the social media, YouTube. We do have over 100,000 subscribers. Only 0.7% of channels have over 100,000. So I know a little bit about social media, right? What I've learned is the majority of my leads are coming from social media, all right? People want to know, I'm going to tell you when I meet you today, I'm nervous if I can't go, what's your name? Nicole? If I can't do this?
Oh, I'm on all of them.
Okay, what's good?
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, find me.
You there. She's everywhere. Well, let me ask you, do you get nervous when I meet somebody, right? I'm like, cool, what's your joint? They don't got one. How do you feel when someone tells you that?
I think it's weird. I don't know.
Weird.
Necessarily, yeah.
What else?
I think that's pretty much it. It's kind of just because right now everything is so technology and social media based, and when we were all trapped in the house, that was what you.
What else you talking to?
How else am I gonna get away from these people that I've been sitting with all the time? So.
Nicole says it's weird. Anybody else feel? How does anybody else feel?
I just know
Okay.
we probably ain't gonna be that close.
We good, but I don't know.
See you on social media. I mean, we kind of. I just met you today. What am I gonna text you? I can't do that. I gotta leave a comment on your joint real quick. And then, you know,
Awkward. You're saying awkward then. Weird, awkward. Anybody else? If you're not on social media. If you ain't on social media, huh?
You might be doing some things.
You might be doing something that you don't want people to know. You're right. I don't know if I want to do business with you if you're doing that. You might. Like,
Sharing.
I met a guy the other day. He goes, I don't do that. I'm like, holy cow, yo, you don't do social media? How in the world could you be in today? We have a few people in here that, I guess everybody at least has a page though, right? All right, whew, thank you. Especially for us, there is open market. It's something called a blue ocean. I don't know the guy who wrote the book. Red ocean is what everybody's, where the sharks, people are in business, the sharks eat up all the entrepreneurs and they go down. Blue ocean is where you can go, do your business, and there's not a lot of sharks around. So social media right now is wide open. I see you doing a lot too, more G. social media is wide open. And I know you might be saying, well, I don't want to be in front of the camera. I don't want to hear that. You can do your voice. You can hear your voice. My mentor, I'm telling you, I paid a guy a lot of money to train me on this, Patrick Bet David. He said, look, if you don't want to do video, you can do audio. Well, I don't like the way my voice sounds. No excuse. You can do written word, right? You can do one of the three. You can either do video, audio, or written word. Can everybody at least do one of those three in the room? All right. Now my guy, he said he's not gonna raise his hand no matter what. So the thing is, the main thing, do content that people want to see. There are two things you have to remember when you do content. Is it educational? I don't see any pens. I hope y'all got this. Y'all making money online. I wish I could even show you the numbers that we do online. You wouldn't even believe it. Is it educational or is it entertaining? These are the two things. That's all I care about. Are you gonna show me some stuff? Teach me what to do. I need to learn. The other day I was trying to figure out with my daughter. She wants to know how to turn a Roblox character into a human. Boom, let's go. Oh, all right, let's do it. Is it going to entertain me? I saw a dude jump off of a thing off of a hotel balcony into a pool. Little stuff, 10 seconds. Educational or entertaining. And what I like to pride myself is we're both. You could do both, entertaining and educational. That's when your numbers go crazy. They go crazy. We good on time, King? Okay, cool. Entertaining or educational. You gotta have one of the two. If you ain't doing one of those, I can't help you. You just want to say, today we're doing Chick-fil-A today. I mean, we're using social media for business purposes. I cannot tell you how many houses we have purchased from people that have simply saw a video, they had a house for sale, and they might go to your sales page or whatever, but then first thing they're gonna do, they're gonna look you up. What's the king doing? What's Nicole doing? What you doing? Or are you a real person? Or are you just an actor? All that stuff, social media, y'all. Who's deploying social media right now for business? What are you doing?
So I just started actually last month. I have an educational program for wholesaling.
Wholesaling.
Yeah. So I think the thing that worked for me, and I struggle with that as well, like trying to actually balance the business, do content.
Do it and record it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I have a videographer meet with me just 2 times a month for like 1 hour, and just whether like I show the possession, like getting possession back to the property, showing the rehab, showing just different things that happens during the day in real estate investing.
Gotcha. Good. Yep. So the mentality is consistent or non-existent. Twice a month. Boom. Right?
With the videos being shorter, we're able to get like 4 videos in that one meeting.
Did I hear that? 4 videos in one meeting. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, the videographer, he's actually in the 757. He's
Really?
back on, so we can connect.
Cool, yeah. Good information. Yep.
Is it Chad Morris?
This guy has a videographer if you need one. So this is the guy to talk to. Hey, my man. Social media. Oh, my Lord. If you do not create a digital footprint for yourself, the internet will create one for you eventually. I cannot tell you the story. I feel like I'm a broken record. I went to one of my rental properties to get possession back from a tenant one time, right? The tenant didn't leave the door open. So what did I do? It's my house. I went on the side. I had 10 other tenants that wanted to go look at the property. I'm like, man, this is my house. Shit, why can't I just go in? Went in, started showing the property. Police show up with the tenant. They want to know why am I in the house. I'm like, well, it's my house. I own it. Why can't I go in? I don't have possession. I had ownership, but I didn't have possession. So the police put me in the police car, handcuff all this stuff. The tenant blasted me online. At that time, I didn't have any social media presence. And it was years ago, so there was no social media. But I'm saying that to say that the internet will give a story. My mother calls me a week later, Chris, I saw you, some lady, you done broke at somebody's house. I'm not lying to you. So the internet told that story for me. And what did I have to do? I gotta clean it up. Gotta go in recon mode. I promise you, you do not want to be in recon mode when it comes to that internet. They say something about you, then I gotta clean it up. But if you already got 1 million pieces, and then one just slides through, you're good. They won't even see it. Let me see it. So locating deals, social media is the best thing, best way. And it's simple. I'll give you an example. raising money and finding deals. You go through a house, blah, 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 you show somebody a house. I'm gonna hit Aaron. We're good back there? Can you check, just check, oh, you know what? We got enough footage here, right? We're good, yeah. If you don't have a house to show, you can just go get a realtor and just walk through a house. Hey, I'm at a house, 123 Easy Street. And at the end, are you looking at, if you want to sell a property, just reach me on my website. You just made some quick contact. Because a lot of people say, well, I don't have any deals to go to. Like my man, y'all got deals. Some people don't have deals. You can come to another deal, call another investor. Hey, you mind if I check out one of your rehabs? Walk through it. You're not lying, you're just saying, I'm here at the house. There's something about being in a construction site, I know you know. People just want to be, they want to touch and feel it, and they're like, man, you're in these sites every day? Oh, let me talk to you then. Am I lying? Talk to they want to know people that are getting their hands dirty. You walk through a house, by the way, guys, if you want to sell me a house, what I started doing was, hey, if you got any money you want to get working, let me know, boom. Hundreds of thousands, y'all, just by telling people, you got any money you want me to get working for you, send me a direct message, peace. After I walked through the house, I walked through the property, we did this, got any money? We all know that there's a lot of capital in the system right now, a lot of it. I met with a guy yesterday, I did coffee with him. Showing the pictures of the house, he goes, Chris, count me in for 100,000. It's so crazy, the less one looks for money, the more it shows up. The less you need money, the more it chases you, right? So at the beginning of my career, I needed it desperately. Couldn't get no investors. Now, I could care less whether I use your money. Comes every day, right? It's so backwards how this thing works. I don't know why it works. Anybody know why it works like that?
Law of need.
Law of need.
I think that's what it is.
That could be the law of need. I don't need it, so you don't give it to me. Social media, internet marketing, all right? How many guys using internet marketing to look for leads? Okay, so this is if you're in this room, you won't be able to hire my geek squad. I have a geek squad, right? Hey, all they do is write articles. They go on Google, they do all these keyword searches and all this stuff. They jam-pack blogs, as well as we pay for pay-per-click. Pay-per-click. Has everybody heard of Google pay-per-click? It ain't cheap. It is actually extremely expensive. But my mentor tells me, say for instance, the speaker here is my ad budget, right? Let's say that's 7,000. Q&A, are we good?
Yeah. Y'all want to do Q&A real quick? We gonna wrap up in like 5.
5, okay, cool. So here's my ad budget, right? Let's say this is 8,000 a month. It's a perfect example. 8,000 a month is a lot of money for me. It's a lot of money. But I could turn 8,000 into 100,000 just like that with pay-per-click, because you know people are searching. What I love about internet leads, when they come in, I know for sure you have went to a website, you have watched Chris prostitute his body on the website that you went to. I got videos, I'm doing all this stuff. I know you've already pre-screened. I'm talking da-da-da. You've put your information in. You want me to, keyword, all my cold callers, how my cold callers in the menu. You want me to call you. You're expecting a phone call as opposed to, I get 10 calls a day. I can't stand it. Cold callers. Internet leads are the hottest leads I have ever seen. They've taken time to visit your site. They've seen you. They've researched you. They're like, you know what? I want to sell my house to this guy. I don't know what it is, like magic. So as long as you do have to have a budget though. But my mentor says, Chris, how many times can you fill that box up? Because you spend 10 to make 50. How many times can you run to that box, right? Because you know 10, 20, 30, 40, it's just going to be exponential. This is the return, this is the investment. And it does require some investment. So pay-per-click, that's kind of where we live. And pre-foreclosures, I hope everybody's looking into that. They're going up. You can get them on all the local publications. The publications are where they're all listed. And you must have a website. Everybody got to buy a website. Buy a website.
Buy a website.
For people, a website just for people to sell your house.
Well, no, it's a website that you can go on, so you can
buy a house. Sell a house.
click on there to see what it connects to the things and all that.
Okay, cool. So you got to have a website. Internet doesn't work unless you got a website. Ain't gonna work. So I want to do Q&A. They're getting ready to shut me down. Go ahead, brother.
You said that you could sell the mortgage or something like that.
The mortgage is not attached to the property like we were. Well, I was tricked. The question was, I think he kind of wants to understand a little bit more about how the mortgage and the house doesn't go together. They don't go together. I need everybody to understand that. And what's your name, brother? Des. So it takes some time to comprehend that fact. The easiest way that I need to explain it is you got mortgages and you got houses. Mortgages and houses. We all understand that. But they're linked together only in our mind. Just how the mortgage company, Wells Fargo, do you have a mortgage now? Okay, so mortgage companies and lenders sell loans all the time. Have you ever heard that thing? They sold that loan? Have you heard that before? We're gonna sell this loan today. It's just debt. They're selling debt. So Wells Fargo can sell that debt to Bank of America. Now the homeowner starts paying. What happens when you own a house, right? You pay your Bank of America every month. Sometimes out of the blue, you'll get a letter in the mail that says Bank of America has just sold your loan to Wells Fargo. Your payments will now go to Wells Fargo. And you're like, what the hell? I didn't even know. And now they send you a coupon book in the mail. Now your check goes to Wells Fargo, right? Bank of America, they're gone. So I'm saying that to say they sell loans all the time while you still own the house. We can also sell the property and keep that debt on the property as well, right? That's a strategy. That's an advanced strategy, my brother. And it's going to took me 3 years to deploy it. I just want to make sure that we all understand that you can do it. All right. Y'all can keep moving. Go ahead, brother. Yeah.
So, like, when you're buying rentals, and like, let's say you have like maybe, I don't know, whatever number. Let's say you have 10, but like, let's say about 5 of them are vacant. How do you go about? Do you keep buying, or do you like hit a certain number and say, okay, everything is cash flow, let me buy more? Because I've seen like with the buying the rentals, and some are vacant and some aren't. It's like, man, I'm not really making money on these doors. I still got to fix them and turn them. Should I keep buying or just wait out until everything is cash flowing and then buy more and then have more houses that are vacant that are now eating up the profit that I just.
You still got debt or no debt on these?
Yeah, they're all.
They have debt. All right, he wants to know when should he buy, when that's a good question because that's how I actually built my empire. I didn't try to go big. When should you keep buying? When should I know how to keep buying, even though some are vacant? Because we all get stuck in the more. Even the song is we're looking for increase, right? Increase. I think that's not true. I think we need to manage, but once again, I think us as a culture, we don't have any management skills. We're just taught how to earn. And I'm telling you, you're 20 what?
24.
24? Oh man, you're gonna do big things. Yes, we need to focus on earning. It's big. You gotta earn. But the management stuff is where we lose. So I decided to, as opposed to keep getting more, I decided to take care of the rental portfolio that I had, right? And just pay it down, pay it off. I didn't even know you could. I'm like, damn, you could actually pay loans off. I didn't even know you could do that until 10 years ago. I thought I would always be in debt for my whole life, till I got some wisdom. So now I'm like, I'm done. But I'm saying that to say your strategy. So if mine goes vacant, I don't really care, because we do something called lease options. Lease options. So I've got 10 grand down already from a tenant buyer. So that's where it goes to strategy. Everybody's strategy is different. Everybody's strategy. I don't do traditional rentals. I do not, never. I am not the traditional rental guy. I do not fix up properties for tenants. I don't walk through them and make them warm and fuzzy, carpet, paint, new appliances. I sell houses, rent houses without kitchens. We rent houses that need to be fixed up. I just rented a house last month and I got a $6,000 down payment from a tenant buyer that needed a full gut job. No kitchen. And it was downtown Newport News.
So
$6 grand. That's a good question. What do? We turn ourselves into the bank. We're good, A? I don't want to leave him, then we'll get to that. What do? Well, your exit strategy is buy, fix up, get a new tenant. I think Marseille, we went over this before, buy, fix up, get a new tenant. I don't do that strategy. Not to say that it's a bad strategy, right? NFL has different coaches, different teams. Every coach has different strategy. I don't do it. I chose not to do that. I let the tenant buyer fix it up, let them do it.
Yeah, because I learned about wraparound mortgages from your
Same
from
thing.
your YouTube channel.
Same thing. Yep. Turn it to the bank. Turn yourself into the bank. We just collect checks. Matter of fact, if your toilet breaks, don't call me.
So you mean like a rent-to-own?
Rent to own.
Oh, okay.
Well, rent to own is a layman's term for lease option, owner finance, wrap.
Gotcha.
Same thing.
So basically, they're buying the house, but if their credit is trashed.
We provide homeownership for people that can't necessarily go out and get a loan.
I got you.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
Use the old private money.
Do I? What's your?
Private
You
lending.
only use a private lender to do your.
No, we do. Remember, I was telling you about subject to. That's where you. That's where your game. That's how I built my empire. Taking over the seller's debt. It's already in place. Remember, the loan stays in place. I'm the new owner, and then lease option it out. Forget doing repair. I'm begging. I'll be begging people. Stop doing repairs. Why don't you keep fixing them houses? It costs money.
So that person has debt from the bank, so does you.
The bank ain't even in the picture. They're gonna be where they're gonna be.
You take over the debt.
Yeah, well, once again, young man, it's right now. It takes time, but like this is not a strategy where you just go and do it, right?
It's a lot more than what you got time.
Just know that it can be done, right? This is the hour. We've been studying for 15 years.
Right.
So we're the new owner, seller. Check me out. Loan stays in seller's name. We're the new owner. We make payment to bank in the seller's name. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's a strategy. It takes time. It takes time. All right, my man.
It's actually a group, because my girlfriend does that too, that you can join, that'll help you understand that concept a little bit more.
Yeah, y'all can trade it up. Yeah, or my channel, we got 1 million.
Yeah.
Oh, my man, if you look at the bottom too, go to Kris, if you need Kris Property Data is a service that'll help you find leads, foreclosures, and HOA liens and all that. And my website is just krishaskins.com. Thank you so much.